abilities, what attributes did I really admire within my brother? Because I'm finna take that on myself. And so as I was thinking about it, one thing that popped up was I had a reading done prior when I was still in Kuwait, a tarot card reading, and inquiring about my brother. And one thing the chick told me, she was like, he is a fighter and he is a warrior. He has a warrior spirit. And that stuck with me. So I was like, you know what? That's true. And that's what I'm about to embody within myself, that warrior spirit. I'm about to take that element of fire that he possesses and bring it within myself. And so right before like the funeral or the wake, I made a vow to myself pretty much like, look, I'm doing whatever I do with passion, like fuck fear, fuck all of that bullshit. Like nothing's getting in my fucking way. If my mind on something, I'm finna destroy it. Like I'm finna attack it, and I'm just finna embody this fucking fire within me. And I pretty much got that from him because that's what he had within him. And so that moment was so defining because I'm not settling for less anymore. You know, if I don't want to do something, I'm not fucking doing it. Yeah. It's just not happening. Like I refuse to do it. And so, yeah, I just took that within myself, and it's just changed the way I view the world.
Tall on your feet, later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss them. Shoot and rock from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit just easy me. I pray to God.
All right, we got it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Unleashed GodCast. For you that are new to the Unleashed GodCast, welcome. And a quick little rundown, this is the GodCast, this is the podcast where us three fellas, you see right on your screen or you listen to it through your ears, we talk about whatever we want to talk about, essentially. But the structure of it is we have 3 topics, 3 questions, and we pretty much discuss it, give our viewpoint on it, give our opinion. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, like I just stated. But yeah, we got three good questions or 3 good topics for you this time. This episode, I believe, is episode 5. And just like we left off episode 4, asking you that question about the book of Eli that Stephen posed, episode off with that question. So if you haven't heard the last episode, I would highly advise you to go check it out. But the question was, if you were in the book of Eli scenario and you had the choice pretty much to preserve the religious text you had or destroy it, what would you do and why? Now, for those of you who haven't seen the book of Eli, I'm gonna go ahead and let Steve just basically give a little synopsis of it without spoiling it too much.
So for those of you who haven't seen the book of Eli, the situation that we're describing is it's a post-apocalyptic world, or everything's gone and it's a wasteland. And you stumbled across every religious text. Maybe it was a library, who cares? Maybe it was a backpack from someone else, but you came across every major religious text known to the history of mankind. Would you preserve it or would you destroy it, and why?
Me personally, I would preserve it. I mean, I'm not gonna. If you've probably heard my the previous, I think it's the last podcast where we're talking about is religious. What's the word we use?
Obsolete.
Yeah, obsolete. Then you probably would be thinking that I would get rid of it. No, I wouldn't get rid of it because I believe it's great for structure. Some of the religious texts are a good foundation to build upon, as well as for those who truly need guidance and who, trust in their own moral and ethics. Some of these religious texts are great ways by which you can run your life. And so I would preserve it because I think about like the Bhagavad Gita, I like the Egyptian Book of the Dead. even though I haven't read it in its entirety. The Tao Te Ching, like a lot of Eastern religions, and I feel like without those, like we would essentially be out here, really, because even the advanced spiritual teachers of today, like you think about some may consider Deepak Chopra or Sadhguru or Moji is a Jamaican spiritual leader. You got all different kinds. Most of them study something along their journey. Although someone may have been meditating, I know like Sadhguru, I think he was meditating like for just a long time, kind of like the Buddha was, and he achieved his enlightenment. But I want to say he had prior studies in certain spiritual paths or whatnot. So with that, I would say absolutely, I would definitely preserve it all.
Jay?
I'm shredding it. I mean, I can see what Livins is saying. There could be some benefit to it, but overall, I think next to money, man, like religion is kind of like the root of all evil, like worldwide. Like wars have been fought, lives have been lost, and blood has been shed. Is there a place for religion in society? Even last week, like you alluded to, when we talked about the obsolete question, there is a place because it does give the foundational workings of, like a civilized society. Not the perfect blueprint, but a sound foundation. Like just look at the 10 Commandments. Like if you follow these 10 rules, life won't be so bad. You know what I'm saying? So, but prior to religion being introduced, is many societies out there that was thriving based solely on just spirituality. Like before Christianity was imposed on the Africans who were picked up as slaves. Like they were just spiritual in nature, They had their own rituals, which they still kind of show up in today in church, in various ways and things like that. But without religion, I do believe it. I do agree with you that there may be a rough patch, just revolting and just like almost like a lack of guidance, so to speak. But I think once the dust settles, there won't be that umbrella that's just dividing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, the division is what causes discord, which causes war. And it's just, I feel as though I would get rid of the book.
And you're saying every piece of spiritual and religious literature?
I was basing it solely on like the movie Book of Eli. He has that one book, and we don't get to really see the book because he don't show nobody the book, but that it's the Bible. So I was just talking about as in one religion, so but honestly, even if you threw the question that way, I would get rid of all of them. Because how would I be able to pick and choose which one to save and which one doesn't, right. I don't know.
Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one either. I'm kind of excited for that one. So you say you destroy it, and that's kind of your answer?
Yes, I will give the world I would give the world a hard reboot.
Yes. Okay. So for me, I have several different reasons as why I would want to keep it. It has done some good for people who were lost, people without direction, addicts, orphans, or just regular Joe Schmoes and, plain Janes that they're bland, and then this gives them the sense of purpose. And so they really attach to it. With that being said, though, and as much history as I've read about strategy and, causing discord among, your own people, it's got to go. I would, without a doubt, I mean, I'd like to imagine that Heath Ledger scene where he's the Joker. Everything burns, you know. I would get rid of it, and there's several reasons why, and I'm gonna actually dive into them right now. I have my stuff set up, so I'm gonna pick on Christians and Judeo-Christians, so Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. All right, so if we go ahead and we read Exodus 21:20, anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property. Not with it. That's just one example of slavery. Exodus and Leviticus are some of my favorite parts to read. So that's why I went there. And then you can go ahead and go to the Quran An-Nur 24 through 33. Let me pull it up. And it says, and let those who find not the financial means for marriage keep themselves chaste until Allah enriches them of his bounty. And such of your slaves as seek a riding, so emancipation, freedom, give them such riding, if you know that they were good and trustworthy. Then it says, and give them something yourselves out of the wealth of which Allah has bestowed upon you. And force not your maids into prostitution if they desire chastity. So, I mean, come on, I'm not with either of that. I'm really not. I don't run with that at all. Another reason is if you look at the history of the world, and it's a book I have here. It's a pretty hefty book, right?
Yeah.
You see this pattern, with the Roman Empire, whereas basically the church calling the shots at a certain point in time, right? Then you had the Crusades, and then you had the Crusades remix. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, people left England, came to North America for religious freedom, but at what cost? Because then you had the genocide of the natives. And the same for Mesoamerica with some of my ancestors in Mexico, where the Spaniards came and they did not understand the aqueducts that the Aztecs had, basically like a floating garden. Because where the Aztecs' capital in Tenochtitlan is basically like a desert, like a swamp bog surrounded by desert. Agriculture is actually what gave the Aztecs a huge advantage, being able to do that. And when they were conquered, the Spaniards destroyed all of it because it was for God only, because it was like witchcraft. It's just because they didn't understand it. They weren't smart enough to understand hydroponics. It hadn't really, So how much agriculture development did we lose doing that? And then you have again, the Spaniards. I mean, they were pretty brutal. Then you have the slave trade in the Caribbean. Then we had the Ottoman Empire killing a bunch of Armenians. I mean, this is all, matter of fact, everyone in 2015 was talking about the caliphate of Daesh or ISIS, and how they had 90% of Iraq and Syria under control at one point in time. And that's terrible. Christians were being beheaded, and so were Yazidis and Kurds, and I mean, it was just god awful. But what no one talked about was the Muslims that were being persecuted in Myanmar right now, which is crazy because Myanmar is it's a pretty Buddhism is very popular in Myanmar, and basically Myanmar used to be Burma, and then World War II happened, and it's still happening now, where basically they said, you know what, we've had enough, and then they go to these Muslim villages and they're slaughtering Muslims. Muslims in China right now are I can't remember the province name, and I don't want to go tangent looking it up, but they're being loaded up and sent to to concentration camps, basically, for lack of better terms, labor camps, because the Chinese Communist Party does not allow religion. So that's just terrible. I mean, how many millions and millions of people have died throughout the history of time over religion? And with that being said, religion was the alpha and omega for so long that we actually ignored science, right? Nicholas Copernicus, the guy who basically said, you know, we are not the center of the universe. I mean, that was like blasphemy. So how many times did we turn a blind eye to science in the name of religion? And I'm not with that, because I think we could be so much further than where we are now. Another reason I have a real problem with religion. So this is another book, Strategy, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. I bookmarked it for this, but it starts talking about American politics and how religion was used. And I'm on page 440, and the chapter is called Strategy from Below. So it's how to manipulate people from, you know, below up. And this is straight up from the book. While Jews and blacks might go with Democrats, the minorities with a more Catholic background, the Poles, Germans, and Italians, were lining up against the liberals. Though immigrant communities once saw the Democrats as a defense against the president or the Protestant Republican establishment in the North, now their children saw the Democrats as hostile. I mean, this is in the 60s and 70s. It's talking about the emerging Republican majority. So with Nixon and Jimmy Carter, and then getting to Carter. Although Carter was clearly deeply religious and regularly spoke of his faith, in no sense could he be said to be following particularly a religious agenda in his presidency. And that would be the landmark 1973 Supreme Court Roe versus Wade. Right. So if you truly believe in the Bible, you do not believe in contraceptives. Hence why Philip Rivers has 9 kids or however many. Because no, I mean, that's real. You just don't believe in contraceptives, right?
Yep.
So, and I have a real issue with that, more so the first one, where they just straight up said, while Jews and blacks might go with Democrats, Poles, Germans, and Italians, bro, what? So because of the skin color you have or the appearance you have, it's just assumed you're going to vote one way or another because you might fall in with this religion based off the color. That's wild. I don't like that. So that's another reason I'd say it's got to go. A hard reboot, man. Like, you know, insert that little Thanos thing where he's like, I would shred this universe apart atom to atom and build it anew, you know? Because I don't like what religion has done. I don't. And what really made me think about this a lot over the last couple of years was a lyric from Hobson, Ill Mind of Hobson, Volume 7. And it's basically, if you don't know Hobson, he grew up in Compton or LA, somewhere like that, if I'm not mistaken. Dope rapper. And then Christianity saved his life. And then he jumped onto Christianity real hard, read the Bible and all that, and was like, whoa, no. So then in the lyrics, he says, what if Jesus was a facade? Well, then that would mean the government's God. And I mean, that's pretty powerful when you really look at, and we've talked about this in past videos, where, you know, we say separate church and state, and that's the premise of our nation being born. But yet we have in God we trust on our currency. We swear on a Bible, and you know what I mean? So it's like, really, I don't see how. But if Jesus was indeed a facade, then yes, the government is God, because that was during the Roman Empire, and everyone loves to compare America to the Roman Empire. So yeah, I would see that. 110%, I would agree with that. That is why I would do away with religion. And it's kind of sad because I've been studying world mythology and religion as a hobby for like 10, 11 years now, since 2009, so about 11 years. And as much as infatuated as I am with the subject, I think it's contributed a lot more negative instead of positive. And that's why I would do away with it.
Plot twist.
We're dropping gems, man.
Yo, I thought I was.
Wait, hold on. See, I thought Steven said that he would keep it.
Well, I thought he was gonna pose two sides.
More.
Yeah.
No, I would destroy it. Like,
okay.
I would, like, yeah. I'd have a nice fire going for a little bit to keep warm.
So just for like further clarification, you find a bag, right? Like you said, a backpack, and
Rough.
it's one book in there, or is it a metaphor for all of the?
Just say all of them. Just every religious text. I mean, because if you want to play that route of like finding the backpack, everything from here on is religion, different religions, and to include the books I have on my desk. So it's like, yeah.
So it seems to me that y'all would just burn it all. Like, know what? I don't want any of it. Me, I'm like, well, there are some good ones in there. So
Yeah, but who are we to cherry pick?
yeah.
That's how
So
Jerry and I see it. I think.
I feel like because the ones that I'm thinking of, mainly the more Eastern
Oh, absolutely.
stuff, and just certain spiritual texts too. Like is I don't think the Tao Te Ching is a religion. You know what I'm saying? But it's a
Well, I agree. Eastern religions, right?
Mhm.
We call it a religion because we don't understand that mentality of the Eastern mindset. It's
Yeah.
more of a philosophy or a way of life. Like I think Bushido actually translates to way of life.
Mm.
And so way, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm botching it. Maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
But I just
So
I
like
get what you're saying, but
what?
it's more it's more spiritual, especially But
And that's what I was going to
ultimately,
regularly say. Like Eastern religion is more philosophical and spiritual in nature than the
Mhm.
Western. So if you made me pick, I would probably leave some of the Eastern ones in. But
No, I mean
if you're not
you
making me
can't
pick,
leave any.
yeah,
huh?
yeah,
It's either all or none.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like
All
I'm
in.
saying, they're none. They're gone.
God.
They're
Oh man, y'all
like
terrible.
they're gone. I mean,
Blasphemy.
because I feel as though like we already like pretty much established religion does play a purpose, especially like what Stephen was saying, like for people down on their luck, recovering drug addicts, orphans, like whatever have you, like you experience great tragedy. Religion is that lighthouse in that darkness for them. You know what I'm saying? So it does play that point. But I also feel as though religion is back to what we just talked about. Specifically, the Western religion isn't really focused on spirituality. It's focused more on the outward than the inward. So it's like it will only get you so far before you realize you need to start worrying about the person within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you always talk about the song um
Remember?
Remember by Carr. And the lyric, she talks about, no, not Carr, Holy Mother, when he talks about the being that lives behind his face. It gets to a point in your life where the pages of a book that you're reading is not going to resonate with you no more. You really have to dive deep and examine like your own soul. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think religion can just kind of it has benefits, but it can be a handicap as well. And
Mhm.
then also, like I said, like it has fueled way too many wars. Many lives have been lost because of it. Like just push reset on the world, wipe it out, and over the course of thousands of years or so, if another religion is born, then so be it. But I'm going to give society a fighting chance not to be tainted by the past.
Yeah. Like I kind of look at it from the perspective of if you got all of them, and if it is an apocalypse, like the newer generation, well, it's going to be just like it is. They're going to pretty much be taught whatever their parents teach them. But I feel like those who truly know within their spirit, they're going to gravitate towards the literatures that are beneficial or uplifting, or I can't think of the term I want to use. They're going to gravitate towards those ones that are going to help them the most, right? They're not going to be indoctrinated into the religions that are just like that's keeping me a slave. You know what I'm saying? It's making me fearful of everything. So that's why I would keep it, because I believe like those who are down here with a higher purpose, they're gonna gravitate towards it, even though you're gonna have the negative side of things like with the slavery fucking agenda in there,
See,
and all that silly shit.
and my beef with Western religion lies in what you just said. And you said they don't want to fall into something based off of fear. My personal opinion and belief is any Judeo-Christian, any Western religion, it is fear-based, because it's more so, if you don't do this, you're gonna go to hell. Do this, go to hell. Oh, also go to hell. You know what I mean? And it's how does that? I mean, it's a very, to me, it's very simple. It's like teaching a pet something, or teaching a dog to be obedient, or a child to be obedient. Because there's children that, until they reach a certain age, and most dogs don't really understand deep thoughts. They understand cause and effect. And that's why I don't like most religions. It's cause and effect. Now we can get into some of the Eastern stuff that you and I fall more in line with. But that's not the case. It's not really, cause and effect and this and that. It's more so, the way I see Eastern religion and philosophy is I see the world this way, and it sucks, and whatever. But then I put on a different lens, and now you see everything totally different. A lot of people can't grasp that, and I don't even think I've grasped it 110%. Hence why I keep telling you, I can't get that last chakra unlocked, even if I try. Clearly, I got some block going on, right? So, and I got into it before you did, and you excelled way beyond anywhere I plateaued, man. So that's another kind of thing I have with it is that's actually what, for fans who want to know, and maybe you guys don't know, or maybe you do, I don't know if I've shared it with you. The biggest reason why I left Christianity and turned to Buddhism was because Jesus had to suffer. He had to pay for original sin, and he had to go through all that. Man, all that was fucked up, dude. Like, homie was basically like, I know one of y'all's a snitch. I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like that had to happen. The story of the first Buddha was that he was a prince, who was wealthy, and he saw an old man, die from natural causes, and he had never seen anything suffering. He had never seen anything. He was so sheltered. So then he ran away from his, wife and his kingdom, and sought out enlightenment. And I like that a lot better, instead of just, homie had to get the business. God sent a piece of himself here in mortal flesh to get the business to pay for us.
Yeah.
There wasn't another way. You had that had to happen. And that's why I left Christian. That was the biggest reason why I didn't like that. When it really came down to it, and I was really thinking about it back in 2012, it was like, I don't like, it was late 12, early 13. I was like, I don't like the fact that it came down to that, right? For me, it was like, all right, this is the team captain for this religion, and this is team captain for this religion. Who is motivating me to be the best player for this team? This team captain or this team captain? Hence why I went in the route I did.
I get it. And I also believe too, like, true, like, spiritual texts don't need any modification or renditions or different versions of it.
The only reason would be for the lack of translation, which I've had issues with that with the Quran as well. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I was really studying the Quran. 2 years ago, I was studying it hard. And I had to get a book basically to help me, code switch between the ancient text and then English. There's no translation. Same with some Eastern philosophy. It has to be reinterpreted because that's the only way it should ever be. However, people have changed other religions just for their own purposes.
They're like, I like that part. I don't like that part so much. Let's just leave it. you know.
Church of England, yeah. Henry wanted to divorce his wife. Divorce wasn't allowed. And so he was like, all right, screw it, new church.
Dang. So you two would burn it all, huh? Or
Yes.
just not?
How many times do you want me to say it? Burn it.
and I say, you know, I preserve it. But that's gonna wrap up the first topic. Let's move on to the second topic. This topic had us all thinking, like just pondering, like, what? I don't even know. It's so much stuff that just happened. And this question is, what was the most defining moment in your life over the past 2 years? Yo, for me, this was tough because it's 2020, 2 years ago, 2018, I'm tripping. So from 2018 to 2020, so much has happened in my life. Like, I got out the military in 2019. Lost my brother early this year, 2020. Did ayahuasca, had a crazy experience with that. Just all different types of things, you know. Was experiencing a twin flame situation. Like, it's just so much different stuff. I was like, I don't know which one to choose. Like, there was so just each one like shifted my direction in life, like each one. And so I don't have an answer right now. So I'm gonna let these two gentlemen go and see if I can come up with an answer while they're speaking.
Flip a coin, rock, paper, scissors. Oh man. So for me, it comes down to my daughter being born and well, yeah, so I think I have it narrowed down to two particular days, right? So the day my daughter was born, and you know, I don't really know how or why or you know what, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I don't need to know. All I know is that after my daughter was born, I was still having issues with my liver, you know, count, you know, being not where it needs to be from, you know, all the pill problems in the military and all the prescriptions I was given, and then the drinking. And I really credit my daughter with me not having alcohol for 13 months, like just cold turkey. Because the beginning of January 2019, we were in Mexico visiting extended family, and I remember having that last beer, and like, you know, and I didn't know it was going to be my last beer. I got home, went home, did the annual liver work, blood work, and they're like, yo man, something's got to change, or otherwise good luck. Like, you know, like, damn. And that was defining for me because my uncle, the one who interrupted our chat last time, that's why he was cut short on his time, man. He liver failure, and it was from years of being, you know, partying back when he was younger. So that was one, because for whatever reason it just clicked with me different. It just did, and you know, even when my daughter was born, it was just different. I don't know why, it just was. The second one, so that the reason that was a defining moment was because it's what basically my daughter being born led to me not drinking for like 13 months straight. And then, you know, my liver's totally fine now. Like, I like a full, like, everything's good, nothing's crazy, this is awesome. So I will have drinks from time to time, you know, now. The second one I would have to say would be February 18th of this past year. And the reason being was because I just got done dealing with my ex-wife in court, right? I was there all damn day. And so that's always fun, especially when you've known this person since you were 12. So, you know, that was hard and it sucked, whatever, you know. I had good support, and I know how to reach out when I need to reach out. And then I got home. Well, actually, I didn't get home. We got to my mom's house. My mom had ordered some pizza, or I can't remember. But basically, as soon as we got to my mom's house, I was like, hey, I got to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Come out of the bathroom, and my little sister and my mom are just bawling. And it was like, yo, what did I even miss? And we had gotten a letter in the mail from San Diego saying that, you know, they had finally tracked down my mom to let us know about my oldest brother. Now, technically, he was my cousin, but his mom was killed when I was like 1 or 2. So then him, my other brother and other sister lived with us from there on out. And I remember just like, it was like, what? Are you joking? Like, and the thing was that last time him and I saw each other, it wasn't pretty, man. Like it got physical, and it was ugly. And that was when I was in high school. And it was kind of an on-site thing. Like, if I see him on site, it's gonna happen again. So I hadn't seen him since then. And the thing that sucked the most about that was I didn't feel anything. My family was kind of upset with me because I was like, why y'all crying? Y'all act like we didn't see this coming. Am I the only one who accepted that, you know, because he had mental health issues and he had been homeless for so long. I think at that point in time, he'd been homeless for almost 20 years. Yeah, basically on and off homeless for the last 20 years. And so it's one of those things where I accepted that. To me, he died when him and I got in that fist fight.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to go that far in a fist fight is bad. Yeah, I was a kid. You can make whatever excuse. I knew what I was doing. I knew that he could not fight back. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was scared. And the only reason the fight stopped was because I felt like I was hitting a dog. Like just an animal fear. And it was like, all right.
Damn.
Well, my family was upset with me, and the only thing that made me feel bad was my sister that really cared about him, my older sister that really cared about him, and always, you know, I was only hurt because she was hurt. I didn't feel anything else. And so I realized at that point, you know, yeah, maybe being in court earlier that day and the frustrations of raising your kids basically alone, an overwhelming majority of the time is I was detached, and that's what I realized. And I had realized that I had made a little bit of progress over the last year, but I was going right back to compartmentalizing and detaching. And that's a super slippery slope, because somebody that I grew up with was dead, and I didn't even bat an eye. I didn't even cry. When I still haven't cried about it. I cried for him a long time ago. But that was one of those things where that February 18th of this year was like when you think things can't get worse, and then it's like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I almost gave in to the darkness again. Like I felt the compartmentalizing, and I almost slipped up again. And so I'd say that was pretty defining, because I had to basically make another hard choice, and it took it wasn't easy, because once you compartmentalize and you learn how to detach yourself, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It becomes very easy to do. And I already know I have kind of being emotionless is a thing for me. It's been that way for a while, so I'd give it that, just because I kind of had to look myself in the mirror over the progress I had made, and then be like, okay, is this, and clearly I was hurt by it because it affected me, but I couldn't even cry. And that was like the oxymoron in my head, or like the paradoxical situation I was in. It was like, I'm hurting, but I don't even know how to, like, am I though? Right? And that forced me to look a lot within. And anytime I can do that, and I could face my demons or my shortcomings or my own issues with myself, whatever you want to call it, it can get ugly fast. And so I'd say it was defining, because it made me really sit there and think, and it made me look at myself for a long time to understand why I couldn't cry and why I didn't feel bad. Because I didn't cry at the court thing or anything, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where it really made me check myself, and it made me get back in tune with myself. And the biggest reason why I got back in tune was because as a father, I can't be emotionless and cutthroat and cold-blooded. That's not a good example for my kids. They see that. They pick up on that. And then, you know, if I didn't change, or if I didn't start making these changes, you know, eventually one of my two kids is going to grow up and a fist fight's going to happen. And they're going to take it too far. And then they're going to laugh about it. Or, you know, it's just not going to be a good look. They're going to they won't care. They won't. And I had that mentality to an extent too, where it was like, I don't care. So what? You got beat up. People die every day. Doesn't mean it's okay, you know, to be that way. So that's why I say it was probably those two, the day my daughter was born, and then February 18th, I think. Well, yeah, definitely. And they were almost exactly 2 years apart too. That was kind of the irony in that.
Damn. Yeah, it sounds like just because you mentioned earlier, you said something about the higher chakra, you can't open it or whatever. Sound like you might have had a heart chakra blockage too. So
That's what I was thinking.
have you cried since then, like for anything, or
No, but
some on a real emotional level?
No, it's really hard for me to cry though, man, just because of everything I've been through. I mean, again, I'm gonna beat this horse to death until we're both dead. We grew up in worlds apart, but it was a very similar path as far as what we were exposed to, what we saw, the decisions we made, why. So it wasn't a heart chakra thing, I don't think, because I did look within for it, right? And like I listen to like oldies, right? Like Earth, Wind and Fire, The Stylistics, Temptation, Motown, Marvin Gaye. So I have soul. Yeah. I've seen so much negative and so many weird situations that it's hard for me to be as, like, I've been broken down to my core so many times that
you put it off.
No, I don't turn it off. If I cry, I'll cry. It's just it takes a lot for me to get there, because I got hit with that double whammy and I was just like, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You become desensitized, not completely, but that stuff doesn't affect you like it would somebody else as easily anymore. I mean, that's life.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But so you got your answer, Jared?
Maybe.
Commercial break.
Hey, you already know what mine is, man. Within these past 2 years, like, my biggest kind of defining moment was taking that step and going on the ayahuasca trip with you. You know what I'm saying?
You're welcome.
Here you go. It was a universe, not you. You just a conduit.
I listen.
Nah, but I still remember like it was yesterday, man. Like, you know, it was March. It was like just for my birthday, you hit me up like, hey man, it's this thing I came across. It's over in Orlando, not too far from you. You know, and you said ayahuasca. What's ayahuasca? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, well,
3
I'm
months.
gonna shoot you some videos. Like, check it out. So I'm watching these YouTube videos, and you know, and I'm learning that ayahuasca is this natural plant medicine. You know what I'm saying? That is derived from South America, based mostly from 2 plants: the vine of one plant and the roots of another plant. You combine them, and it has very high DMT effects. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because science can't figure it out. Like they're trying to denounce it. They're trying to find loopholes in it. But this plant medicine has shown to have immense beneficial impacts on people who have depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. It has even shown to cure physical ailments. People who had diabetes took it and was cured. You know what I'm saying? People who had whatever kind of ailments, they took it and they no longer had like seizures. Like they had the entire life. And then they'll take this plant medicine and it just goes away. And the doctors are literally like, we're trying to find something wrong with this, but we can't. You know? So when Brian first brought it to me, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I ain't feeling it. And I kind of like brushed him off. So brushed him off, about 2 weeks go by. But during the 2 weeks, like, it just kept popping in my head, man. Like, ayahuasca. Like, damn, why did I keep thinking about this shit? Like, I already told Brian no.
Actually,
I was like,
you didn't even respond. I sent it to you. Check it out. No response. I'm like, man.
That's all good.
nigga, no. But so it was just like, okay, well, something is really trying to get my attention about this, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. Committed it to it. A month later, Brian coming down here. We link up at my house, and me and him hit the road. We going out, and pretty much we going to Soul Quest, where the ayahuasca ceremony would take place for a weekend. And like, prior to that, I was already more of a spiritual person, you know. Like I had already went through the whole kind of detaching myself from like religion, but this just really reinforced it, because people can tell you up, down, left, and right about what an ayahuasca experience is like, and you would not get the gist. Every single journey for every single person is different. Like the medicine knows exactly what to show you, when to show you, and it's like, it's amazing the things that are revealed to you. The things that you thought you had packed away in your head and had like in that back storage closet. Like ayahuasca will pull that box out, slam it on the desk, and like, we're going to address everything in this box. And it's just like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like, crap, okay. I guess we have to go through it. You know, like, I'm with you, Sep. Like, I always felt like I kind of had like a heart chakra blockage. Man, she takes a chisel and breaks that crap down. Like, nah, bro. Like, you gonna feel today. Like, you gonna feel all these emotions that you were trying to suppress, ignore, like, whatever have you. And like, my first time taking it that first night, it was extremely eye-opening. You know what I'm saying? Like, the visions you see, the auditory stuff you hear inside your head. Like, you're hearing actual voices of people that you know, dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, visions are coming to you, like profound lessons are being revealed to you that even after the ceremony, they are still you're still unpacking it. Like, even after that ceremony, a month later, I was still having slow realizations of what a certain vision meant and just things like that, you know? And like pretty much Brian can attest, like the second ceremony, man, I was down for the count. Like, man, like typically they give you 1 teaspoon. This day I was like, you know what? Give me 2.5. Ooh-wee! Bro, I was out of commission for about 8 hours, man. But again, the knowledge that is imparted on you is immense, you know, and it's like, take it what it's worth. Like, she referring to the medicine commonly known as Mother Ayahuasca, she will show you exactly whatever you need to know. And it's referred to as Mother Ayahuasca because it has a motherly, feminine energy to it when it's inside you. Like, you can hear voices in your head, and you can hear it's a woman's voice, and you can just tell the energy that emanates from it is that of a woman. And but without a doubt, after that experience, that just opened my eyes even more to like the spiritual side of things. That it made me realize that everything has a deeper meaning. Everything that we go through life, like we tend to look at everything, like I said before, face value, like, oh, this just happened because of that, or whatever, just bypass it. Like, no, it's a much deeper meaning, you know. It also started to really hit home to me that there's no such thing as coincidence, you know. So I really started to listen to my intuition a lot more after that ceremony, you know, like that little voice in your head. Sometimes, well, like a lot of times I would ignore it, but now I listen to it a lot more, and that has had benefits on my life going forward. But I don't want to get too long-winded. I'm gonna end it there. Pass it on off to Brian.
Yeah. So for those of you seen my ayahuasca video, I posted one on this channel. Also, if you watch that video, Jared's link is in the description, as well as there's a little card that pops up during my video, so you can go check out his experience. He goes more into depth on this video because he talks about the first night, the second night, all the stuff he's seen and everything he felt. And it's important because after you go through the experience, it's fresh in your brain. So, and you made it a few days later after we left there?
I made it probably within like it was like right after you left.
Okay, so like
maybe about 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out his video because so you can get a better understanding of it. But you're not gonna fully get it. I kind of feel like, and I can't relate to this. I think it's the same as like seeing your first child born. I don't think you really know that. You can't describe it until it happens for you. Like, I don't understand what that's like. I don't have any kids, but I'm pretty sure y'all two know what it feels like, and you're like, it's undescribable, the love you feel. So is that true?
It's indescribable, man. Like, your journey is your journey. Like, I can tell you what my journey was like in vivid detail, beat by beat, step by step. But when you go take yours, it ain't gonna be nothing like mine. It's gonna be completely tailored to you. Mm-hmm. And what you see, and I've heard of some absolutely mind-blowing stories, you know. And it's like, I don't really have the privilege to like divulge it here, but like I heard some mind-blowing stories, and it's just like it's amazing what this medicine is and what it can do for a person's mind, like mental or physical, man. Like, it's the best alternative for people who, you know what I'm saying, have mental health issues, who don't like taking medication, or they are tired of taking medication.
Yeah, and also there is a documentary on Netflix, or not a documentary. It's like a docu-series, I guess.
Yeah.
It's called, what's it called?
It's called Unwell.
Unwell. There's an episode on there. They talk about ayahuasca, and in a few segments, they're at Soul Quest, recording everything and talking to pretty much the facilitators and owners of their place. So definitely go check it out. But so my defining moments the past 2 years. So just like Steve, it's going to come down to two. I can't narrow it down to just one. And the first one is going to be when I got out of the military, which was, my date of separation was March the 19th, 2019. However, I left base and I was already out processed, like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 days before that. So I was already out, you can say, just not technically. So it was the most defining because, so before that, when I was still in South Dakota, just living my life or whatever, I would always listen to my intuition, right? I would, if it tells me to do this, I'll do it. If it tells me to go here, whatever, I listen to it. But once I got out of the military, that was my only guidance that I had, was my intuition. And so I blocked out everything else, and I listened to that because I'm pretty sure you remember this, Jared. Like when I drove back home to Arkansas and got there at night, went to sleep or whatever, woke up the next morning, and I was hit with so much reality. I was hit with so like low-key depression. I was like, yo, what the this is real. I don't have any more checks coming. Like, I don't even know what to do with my time. So I hit up Jared. I was like, bro, is this shit supposed to feel like this? He was like, yeah, bro. You remember me calling you?
I remember that conversation. And me just pretty much like trying to tell you, like, yeah, man, like I felt that same way too. Like it's the shell shock of leaving something that was part of your life. That was the past 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that adjustment period.
Yeah. Cause I joined too when I was 19. Pretty much fresh out of high school. And so I was just like, damn, bro, now what? But it was most defining because I really tapped into spirit. Like I was like, there's a few things that I know for sure that's gonna get me right. Working out, because it's getting rid of all that negative energy, and it's like therapy, and meditation, and also smoking cigars. But meditation and working out. So just meditating constantly, like make sure I did that every single day. It just made me tap into my intuition to a whole nother level. And yeah, so it made me tap into my intuition more, which made me too ask Jared again about the ayahuasca thing, because I was so in tune with my intuition. I was just listening to whatever it said. And so with that, I was also guided too. This is crazy how it works. So I did, so I think I, no. So money spell, right? And then forgot about it. All of a sudden I get a check for like, I don't know, a couple $100, right? I'm on $700-800. I was like, yo. And then the first thing when I got the check, it popped in my head was ayahuasca. I'm like, bet. So I hit him up. He was like, you know what? Actually, I'm thinking about doing it. And then I sent him a video because he was dealing with this issue, and this chick, she explained exactly what he was dealing with, and she said doing ayahuasca got rid of it. So I sent it to him, and he was sold from that point. So I'm like, yeah. So just getting out, it just made me tune into my intuition so much, and that has led me down to what I'm on right now. And then the second most defining moment was, just like Steve said, when my brother passed away. And it's so shocking. Like you never expect it. It always comes from it always hits you off guard when it happens. And so that happened off guard or whatever. I was in Kuwait, came back, decided not to go back after all that. And that's another moment. But just specifically with my brother passing, what it did within me was, so I said get on military, tune into my intuition. But with this experience, I really tuned into like my ancestors and pretty much what traits did I enjoy the most about, how's the connection?
Good.
All right. It said internet is whatever, I don't know. But I was like, what abilities, what attributes did I really admire within my brother? Because I'm finna take that on myself. And so as I was thinking about it, one thing that popped up was I had a reading done prior when I was still in Kuwait, a tarot card reading, and inquiring about my brother. And one thing the chick told me, she was like, he is a fighter and he is a warrior. He has a warrior spirit. And that stuck with me. So I was like, you know what? That's true. And that's what I'm about to embody within myself, that warrior spirit. I'm about to take that element of fire that he possesses and bring it within myself. And so right before like the funeral or the wake, I made a vow to myself pretty much like, look, I'm doing whatever I do with passion, like fuck fear, fuck all of that bullshit. Like nothing's getting in my fucking way. If my mind on something, I'm finna destroy it. Like I'm finna attack it, and I'm just finna embody this fucking fire within me. And I pretty much got that from him because that's what he had within him. And so that moment was so defining because I'm not settling for less anymore. You know, if I don't want to do something, I'm not fucking doing it. Yeah. It's just not happening. Like, I refuse to do it. And so, yeah, I just took that within myself, and it's just changed the way I view the world and everything. Yeah. But, yo, is this lagging at all?
No, it stopped for a second, but it wasn't lagging. Like it, we had a pause, like, but it wasn't like a big deal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and yeah, those are my defining moments this past 2 years. Yeah, I got
that just further proves my point, man. Like how did that happen to both of us in that short time window? That's what that proves my point, where I feel like I'm connected with you because of that similar path. And then Jared and I are connected with the loss of a loved one, and then the loss of a child. So it's like really one of those things from like, how did that happen? How did that play out exactly? You know, and then basically same, you know, we both lost a child, and then boy, girl, and then also, you know, boy, girl. And so, yeah, it's really one of those things where it's crazy to me because no such thing as coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, my ayahuasca experience was intense too. But nah.
I'll get there one day. I'm gonna do it one day. I got other things I want to knock out first, and then I'm gonna make my way down there.
Just wait till the medicine calls you, and then it'll be time. Don't rush it.
Oh, that's why I said there's other things I got. Yeah, I'm not just gonna go there now. Yeah, like right now, I'm good. You
gotta be ready for that.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for the second topic. Let's go to the last and final topic. I like this question a lot. This one was recommended by a listener as well, a supporter. So, like we said, if y'all got suggestions, keep on sending them in. We enjoy hearing the feedback as well as what y'all would like us to dive into. But this topic is, what would you like to be remembered for?
I don't know, man. It's like that's a big question, bro. Like, if you was in school, like, this could be like a 7-page paper. Like, nobody is perfect, you know? So, like, nobody is perfect. Nobody has all their stuff together. So, at the end of the day, neither one of us really, when nobody knows outwardly how the rest of the world views us. We know how or what we want to project, but we don't know what everybody perceives when they look at us. You know, me personally, like, I want my lasting kind of impression for everybody, you know, to remember me as is just this, you know, funny, always kind of want to lift the mood, you know, jokester, you know, who loves his friends and family. And even though he's a jokester, at this foot of a dime, you can come, like, I can always go to him and talk to him about some serious stuff. Like, if something was on my mind or I needed, you know, just to mentally have a mental dump, like, he was there to catch it, you know. And, you know, like, at the end of the day, people, like, I have a very small circle. I have a very small circle of people who are called really true friends and things like that. So if you ever get let into that circle, I kind of want people to know, like, like he really loves his friends and family, and he really was always there for us, you know. And he always wanted to keep everybody laughing. But That's my short, quick response. I'll let everybody else go.
You're also a bully too. Should throw that in there.
You want to go on this one?
Yeah. So what I want to be remembered for? Well, I don't.
Gains.
Not only me, but I also want the name, the brand, Godly Potential, to be known. And you know, I was saying I wanted to be a household name, pretty much. Like the vision I have for this brand, this concept of Godly Potential, I want that to reach a lot of people because it's bigger than me. It really is. And essentially, I want to be known for just like a spirit guide, you know, just a person who really took pleasure in helping other people manifest the reality that they want, as well as help them to connect with their truest self, like as well as the brand. I wanted to leave behind like the legacy of, I guess you can say, just a go-to place to get everything that you need. Like you don't have to go anywhere else. You got the spiritual covered, the emotional, the mental, financial, every category, like category of wellness, right? I want the brand Godly Potential to pretty much have all that covered. And my name on that brand pretty much. So yeah, just let me know it's like a spirit guide. I mean, I also take like a great sage or something, you know, like a spiritual teacher. I wouldn't mind taking that.
Personal trainer, goddamn.
No.
Lord.
So my answer, maybe you'll be shocked, maybe you won't. I don't fucking care because I'll be dead.
Oh.
I am shocked. That was a curveball.
Really? I feel like
Yeah. I did not see that coming.
the reason I say that is because here's the thing. I'm a little too real, and you all saw it. I kept it too real with leadership when they asked me to, whatever. So I make a lot of people uncomfortable or afraid or uneasy because I'm too real. And the reason is like lions are not concerned with the thoughts of sheep. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't like not you guys, like you guys are the homies, but in reality, like I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. It's not my business anyway. I don't give a shit. Like and this is where people are like, oh God, what a dick, right? But I just don't.
Respect.
And on top of it, I'll be dead anyway. So like, so I mean, if I had to answer it without being a total dick, I guess my answer would be like, he kept it real, and that's probably what got him killed. Oh, what you gonna do? Shoot me? And then I get shot, right?
I mean, that's pretty powerful to leave behind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One person I can go to, like, if I wanted the harsh truth or just for him to keep it real. He's so authentic, you know? Authenticity.
But at the same time, like, I don't really care what other people think. And I may sound like a bit of a narcissist. Again, I don't care if I do or not.
Yeah.
But not that many people, I know and understand, but not that many people have studied the reasons why for as long as I have, or have searched for answers and have searched as much in depth as I have. I really haven't come across a lot of people like ourselves that'll actually go into things, or people that'll say, you know what, maybe I was wrong, or maybe this, maybe that. And so because of that, when I see regular people just being plain Janes or following the trend or, you know, whatever, you know, I'm like, bro, that's sad. You're not even living your own life. Like, you're just kind of marching along and doing whatever. And that's why I've always marched to the beat of my own drum, man. Like, because I don't I am not concerned with what other people think. Other people can't look at me. There's no way you could like touch my face and do a Vulcan mind meld, like Star Trek.
Mhm.
Or there's no possible way. So therefore, I don't care. And I've already been, as we all have, people have looked at me and thought I was, Middle Eastern, and treated me a different type of way. People have, seen some of my tattoos, and I'm wearing plain Jane clothes, so I may look like a cholo or a banger, whatever you want to call it, and that's not the case. So why am I going to concern myself with stuff I can't control? I can't control if someone's an idiot and they want to be an idiot. I can't control that. And so that's why I don't really care what other people think. I can't control it anyway, man. And I don't have any desire to try to, shift the way they think. And that's why I've always been somewhat of a, even when we were stationed together, I knew just about everyone, but barely anyone knew what I was really about. Like, actually knew me. Because I was just like, yeah, cool, what up? Like, you're cool, I'm cool, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
You know what I'm saying?
narrow it down. How you want to remember about the people, your loved ones and true friends? Like, how you want your kids to remember you,
Yeah, he was real. He was a real one. He really loved me, and he was really an asshole sometimes, but at least he was real.
Hey, well, that's it right there.
Yeah. And that's kind of, and it's like, I get what Steven's saying when he was like, he doesn't care. And that's kind of like when I was talking, why I said, like, and if y'all really pay attention, y'all would know, like, my circle is small. I'm like Steven, like, I can conversate with everybody, I can laugh, tell jokes, but to earn that title with me of like, oh, that's my brother right there, like, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? So people like that is like, those are the ones I'm talking about, how I want them to remember me. I'm like you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, back in the military, other folks in the squadron, I don't care. yeah, exactly. Like, I don't care, but it's just like the people who I care about, how would they remember me? You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, we all, regardless of, we don't care what people think. I think our ego alone makes us, in our mind, we have this image we want to give off to people. Yeah. Like, this is what I want you to think of me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like a facade, but it's just like an awareness of, how am I looking to this person? So it's like,
the way I see what you're saying is like, growing up as a kid, don't wear colors over here, don't wear colors over there.
I mean, no, like, not really that. It's not really like changing an outfit or putting on a different mask, so to speak. But it's just like, okay, these groups of people are going to see what I'm really about. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is going to see pretty much like what you said. The happy-go-lucky, the cracking jokes, wilding, things like that. But the people who really know me, meat and potatoes, is like, those are the people who you really care about. Like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though, like, you quote unquote dead, you kind of gonna be like, dang, I hope I really made an impression on them. Like, I really hope that they got where I was coming from. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I really cared about them. I cared about their well-being, their success, and everything like that. Freaking John Doe down the street, screw him. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him think what he wants. I don't care. Like, what he eats don't make me shit. So.
Mm-hmm. And then we all got different selves, you can say. You know what I'm saying? You got your public self, how you is out. Like, you might have a hard exterior, but you're not like that at home when you chilling with the kids or with your girl. You're not all fucking rough like that. You got your yourself, yourself when you at work. You got to be professional so you can't get, or you don't get fired or whatever the fuck.
I mean, yeah, because like many people was telling you at Soul Quest, like, you have a very, like, commanding presence to you. You know what I'm saying? But I've obviously never been in a space with you with like a girlfriend or nothing like that, but I know you're not exuding that same energy.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? And whenever you have kids, I know you're not going to exude that same energy. Like it's just life. Like we know, and it's actually kind of crazy how subconsciously we kind of switch. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like the energy wavelengths, depending on who we interacting with. So, you know, like for instance, me and Sep got kids. When you hear me and Sep talk now, it's a lot of bass in our voice, and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's very manly. But when Sep talked to Penelope, I talked to Destiny, it's hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like we go real Michael Jackson with it.
I wish
And
you
it's
would
just
talk to me
like,
like
you know what I'm saying?
that.
Like we know that we cannot exude this type of, you know what I'm saying, like this masculine energy, especially to like a soft, fragile individual as a daughter at their ages. You know what I'm saying? So, but then we'll turn right around and, oh, what up, dog? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, you know, like we can't keep that same level of energy on all courses of life. We gotta adjust accordingly, and we do it not even knowing. Like when you do that voice, that like you don't even think about it. That's just how you talk to your daughter. You know, like that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
No, and so we talked about, or you had mentioned it. You said that you were quoting someone at Soul Quest, and they said Brian has a commanding presence.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there is a reason that a lot of the younger cats or newer cats, when we were kind of established there, would kind of flock to us, really. And it is because they kind of, you know, they thought it was something that was maybe a front. And it's like, no, dog, I really don't, like, you can come kick it, but like I really don't really care what you think. Like you're like you want to be a lion so bad, you don't realize that you're being a lamb in order to be a lion, which means you're not a lion. Like,
Yeah.
and we kind of we had that, and I'm not name dropping anybody. I mean, there was a few people that they would come and go, or that would only, you know, come around big groups when we would have, you know, bigger get-togethers or whatever, for like, you know, a surprise birthday party or a baby shower, all the things we celebrated in those years together. But it was that way for a reason, and it made, again, it made. I knew people in the unit that didn't like Brian, and they couldn't tell me why.
Yep.
I'm like, I get why you don't like me. I could be a douchebag. I totally get it. Like, right back at you. But what did he do to you? Because that dude doesn't, like, yeah, that's my boy, but he has a very different approach. Like, he's more approachable. I'm not. So what? Like, why don't you dislike me then?
Because to them, I don't look approachable.
Yeah,
I look like
his fear aggravate their demons, basically.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying, it goes. What did little A1C liftings? Why were tech sergeants, and same for me as a senior? I mean, why were some senior NCOs really concerned about why, you know, like old girl and the two seniors we had, bro? The was it Russell and Jenkins? I took every minute to throw them under the bus because they were trash. Why are you saying? Because you suck. You're gossiping about my Red Cross orders for a terminally ill child. That's why. You're garbage. You were mad you didn't know I was married. All you had to do was look at my portal, like it was updated. Like, you're trash. That's why you know what I'm saying? But they're literally they were so insecure, and then they try to intimidate me specifically, and Restagio was there for that too, with my exit interview. But it's one of those things where they're like, well, you can't say that. Well, I just fucking did. You know? And then it's like, well, And it's like, dude, I'm on my way out the door. Why are you worried about me? Don't worry about me, bro. Worry about these new airmen that are getting here, and you got this shit show to deal with. Don't worry about me. and so those same people that dislike Brian for no reason, and, you know, I gave people plenty of reasons, because I'll sound off and I'll come at you. I don't care. But those are the same people that are like, don't get out. There's nothing out there for you. How would you know there's nothing out there for me? You've been doing this shit since you were 18, bro. The fuck you get out of here. I'm not listening to you. You're fear-based. Get the fuck out. Like, and they'll just tell you, well, you know, you never know. You never know. You're right. You do never know.
You know,
You could walk outside and get killed right now. You never know. Like, you never know. So those same people, I think, and it goes back to what I was trying to initially say, that lion energy, or that just straight up, like, I don't care, bro. Like, not that I dislike, you know, this individual. It's just I genuinely don't care what you think. Just you're another lamb or you're another sheep.
like since we're on the topic, like, so I know I probably said in every one of these podcasts, like a reading I had, like I've had several readings, but this is one of the ones I had like a few years ago. One thing the guy told me, he was like, accept that you are different and that you're just not like the others. And when you have these readings, they'll tell you something, especially if you're like channeling spirit, they'll tell you something that most of the time it's like for future, like it can work at any moment in your life, but a lot of times it's for a future event. And when he told me that, I was just like, why are they telling me this? But it just goes back to what y'all was saying. Like, some people just don't like you because you're not like them. You're different. Like for me, like, I guess I might look intimidating or something, so I don't seem approachable. But, and also too, I'm normally not the one to go initiate a friendship, so to speak, with somebody. Like I'm cool with, like, especially like on a or something, if I'm posted with a bunch of people, I'm just cool, just sitting back chilling on my phone or something. And then there's always somebody like, oh, he think he's too good for us or something. Just like, what the fuck? And just after years of this happening, I'm like, look, just like he said, you just gotta accept it. You're not like them, for real. Do your own thing. But bringing it back to what you want to be like, how you want to remember it. Yeah, when it comes to like people like that, though, like, yeah, I don't think any of us give a fuck about how they remember us. We don't. But if I was to like take on the visualization of, let's say you're laying in the casket and you got all your loved ones up speaking on your behalf, what would you want them to say about you? You know, that's why I'd be like, look, I'm pretty much a spirit guide. That's how I want to be remembered.
Yeah. I don't know. I might be. It's hard. I would be one hell of a spirit guide. It'd be.
I'm saying here in the flesh. I just want to help.
Be the red devil on the right shoulder. The whole time. You sit the whole time.
Actually, there's one of me that's like just me now, and then there's another one, but it's like Uncle Shannon. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Shannon.
But they're both devils.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so just to like recap it, what'd you say again, Jared?
Like, know me as a loving, funny dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about his family, cares about his friends, you know? And I always make myself available for people, you know? I have a very good eye and spiritual eye of reading people and knowing that something is wrong and putting it out of them. So probably that.
And Steve, you said you don't give a fuck. Well, really, you just want to be known as just authentically unapologetic.
I don't like saying unapologetic because I'm not even like, I don't care to even be apologetic or not if you don't get it. Just raw, straight up, like
uncut.
Yes.
Straight lace, no chase. Got it. Right. And that's going to wrap up the 3 topics, and it's going to wrap up the episode. Y'all got anything? Any disclaimers? Any plugs? Any shout outs? Any?
You know what? I'll give a shout out to my man's Kobe. Because one defining moment in my life was, it wasn't a big one, but it was a little one for me, was when he died. I literally did not want to do anything that day. right? And I had boxing. And I was like, nah, bruh. Like, I can't even go to boxing right now. Because being from Cali, Kobe was Superman to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember Froby. And then literally watching all of basketball, if it wasn't Michael Jordan, it was Kobe. And I was ready to quit and all that. And then I just felt, I don't want to say like the Mamba energy came to me, right? But I was like, Kobe would be like, yo, don't be a bitch. Be better. Get up. Go. And that workout was probably like one of the best boxing workouts I've had in my life. Like just my footwork in the ring, hitting the bags, my form. And I even made a post about it in January. I had my Mamba mentality shirt and I was doing this or whatever. And that was a good one, man. So I'm gonna give Kobe a shout out on that because that Mamba mentality, something after his passing and after that workout, I was like, yeah, be better. Hold on to that. So yeah, shout out to Kobe.
Shout out to Kobe.
His birthday this past week.
Mm-hmm. So also just gonna mention, if you enjoy this GodCast, this podcast, you want to help support the GodCast, we just designed some GodCast shirts. The Unleashed GodCast apparel is out now at the Etsy store. The link will be in the description. And what we have right now, we have shirts. We're going to be ordering ours pretty soon, so we can just wear them every now and again through these GodCasts. But if you want to get yours today, right now, hell, as you're listening to this, you can head on over right now and get you one. It's nice and sleek, just simple design, but you know what you're repping. So, like I said, if you want to support the fam, you can head on over there and purchase one of those. Get you one, get your kid one, get your husband one, get your wife one, get your friend one, your postman one. Hey, get everybody one. But that's going to do it for this GodCast episode. Yeah. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Tall on your feet, later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss it. Shoot and rock from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit just easy me. I play the God.